we have to draw the root locus. Up to breakaway point you won't stuck anywhere, the steps are same, but see how can we calculate breakaway point. As I told you, the formula for the breakaway point is 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. So it would be 1 plus k into s plus 2 divided by s plus 1 s plus 3 plus j2, right? S plus 3 minus j2, correct, is equal to 0, correct. Now we have to solve this equation. How can we solve this equation? It's a plus b, right? Let us consider this one would be a, then a plus b, it would be a minus b. And if you remember, the formula is a plus b into a minus b is how much? A square minus b square, correct? So it would be s plus 3 ka whole square minus j2 ka whole square, correct? So j2 ka square is how much? 2 square is 4 minus j square minus is minus 1, like j square is minus 1, minus and minus would be plus 4, correct. Now if I'll open this formula a plus b ka whole square, then it would be a ka square plus b ka square, 3 square is 9 plus 2 into ab, 2 into s into 3, correct. So if we'll solve it further, then what we'll get? S square plus 9 plus 4 is how much? 13 plus 6s, right? So basically if we'll solve this term, then we'll get s square plus 13 plus 6s. Got it? Now in this case, 1 plus k into s plus 2 divided by s plus 1, and we solve that term, that would be s square plus 6s plus 13, correct, is equal to 0. Now we need to solve it further by taking the LCM. That would be s plus 1 s square plus 6s plus 13 plus k into s plus 2. That term goes to that side, that would be equal to 0, correct. Now we need to multiply this equation with this equation, so it would be s cube plus 6s square plus 13s plus s square plus 6s plus 13, right, plus k into s plus 2 is equal to 0. Now we'll solve it further. S cube 6s square plus s square would be 7s square. 13s plus 6s would be how much? 19s plus 13 plus k into s plus 2 is equal to 0, correct. Now from here we need to get the value of k. Now solve it by your own and tell me the value for k. After solving it, after taking the differentiation, you will get, like remember I told you that you have to use u by v formula for the differentiation. That would be v square vdu minus ud, right? So v square is how much? S plus 2 ka whole square. V is as it is, means s plus is as it is, correct. Du means the differentiation of this term, that would be how much? Minus, we can take it outside, 3s square plus 14s plus 19 right, 13 differentiation is 0, then minus u dv, u as it is, means minus and minus it will become plus, right. S cube plus 7s square plus 19s plus 13 dv, differentiation of v, that would be how much? 1 only, because Okay, no, sorry, it's a 2s, it's a s plus 2 na. So s differentiation is 1 and 2 differentiation is 0. That is a constant term. So now if we'll solve it further, that would be equal to 0. So this term will completely be 0. If we'll solve it further, then we'll get 2s cube plus 13s square plus 28s plus 25 is equal to 0. Now if we'll solve it for the s value, that you can do it in the calculator, that would be minus 3.54, and another value of s is we'll get it as minus 1.477 plus minus j 1.159. So basically we'll get three values for the s. Now we have to check it that which of the value lies in the valid breakaway point. Okay, so these are the breakaway points. We got it. Understood? There is no valid breakaway point, right? Valid breakaway point, we can write it down BAP. Now in the next step, what we need to do? Step number 7, right? We need to calculate angle of departure, correct? So in the angle of departure, what we'll do? Tell me the steps and the formula. In this, we'll take one pole as a reference pole and above pole must be the reference pole, right? Now with the reference pole, I need to connect all the other poles and all the other zeros. Then we need to measure. Like I connect this pole with this pole, then I measure the angle over here. That would be 5p1. Now next step, I connect this pole, reference pole with a 0, then that angle would be 5z1. Next I connect reference pole with another pole, that would be 5p. Now with the help of protector, you need to measure the angle. Okay, I'll tell you the direct value. 5p1, this one we got it as 135 degree. This one is always obviously 90 degree, and 5z1 we got it as 116.5 degree. Okay. Now angle of departure formula is what? Phi of d is equal to 180 minus phi, correct? And phi is how much? That is summation of angle made by poles minus summation of angle made by zeros, correct? So phi would be how much? You know, you can do the summation of angles made by poles and angle made by zeros. Do it and then tell me the value. After solving it, we'll get the value of phi is 108.5. Then we'll get phi d. We'll put this value over here. Then we'll get angle of departure as 71.5 degree. Correct? So now we got angle of departure. Correct? Now what would be the next step? Tell me. Step number 8 is, that is intersection with imaginary axis, right? Now tell me what are the steps for the intersection with imaginary axis? This is the characteristic equation, right, which we have got it from the earlier case. So it would be s cube plus 7s square plus, can we take s and s common from these two terms? Then it would be s bracket 19 plus k, and 13 and 2k, that would be the constant term, right? 13 plus 2k is the constant, that would be equal to 0. Because we have to write down in formula of s cube, s square, s, and then s0, right? Now what we need to take? Routh array. Calculate it by the Routh array, do it. See, the Routh array of that equation is how much? S cube plus 7s square, so it would be 1, then 19 plus k, then 7, then 13 plus 2k. Now we need to multiply this multiplied by this divided by 7, right? So after solving it, we'll get 120 minus 5k divided by 7. Next term will be 0. Again we'll do the same thing, right? So what would be the value over here? That would be 13 plus 2k. Okay. Now from this, if we'll solve it from this, 13 plus 2k is equal to 0. K would be equal to how much? Minus 13 by 2. So k can't be negative, right? Remember I told you, then there is no intersection with the imaginary axis. If we'll get k as negative, then there will be no intersection with the imaginary axis. Okay, so its final graph will make it like this. As we calculated breakaway point, breakaway point was how much? We got it as 108.5, right? There were poles like this, zeros here and pole is here. As you can see, like draw an angle, it's a 0, 90, 1108 is something like that, right? So draw an angle of departure of 108 degree. Similarly here also 108, and it would be 108. Okay, so as you can see that k is negative, so it would not intersect with the imaginary. This is the complete. Got it?